Here we are, guys, back. I think I might even get this one in here, but let's see what he does. I mean, we're short. He's been pretty aggressive. Our hand is semi-playable. The only problem is when we're thinking about metagame, he might not 3-bet us too light because he might actually expect us to jam him because he's been 3-betting us a little bit. I mean, he can have 8-9, some bigger nines here, I think, but I mean, it's just heads up. We're pretty short now. SPR's huge. I mean, small, you know, it's already 3 and top pair, back doors. I think I'm going to bet again. I think you can have like 6-7, 5-7, maybe even like 3s or ace-4, ace-5, king-5 some of the time. So I will actually bet again here. We do have the up and down as backup if we're wrong and we botched it. Just trying to think about how much to bet here. If I bet 30, yeah, that looks pretty good. Hopefully he hasn't got like 4-6 or something gross. I think I bet enough to deter him from calling the flop with a gut shot. If he has 7-8, he could even hero us once in a while, I guess, with like ace-4. I'm just going to shove it in here and hopefully he hasn't hit the 6, but he hasn't snapped, so that's a good sign. The longer he takes, the more likely it is we're good. He probably would have called with better than 8-9 now, so it looks like we are good. I think he's going to hero us with king-5 or ace-4 here. Or ace-high. Well, $26, M6, pocket 4s. So that was some serious hero stuff. These guys have the best imagination. Try and get these guys riled up a bit. Sometimes these guys are at the final table. They think they've been playing well, you know, their confidence is high. Sometimes it can be good to try and use a few mental tactics. And just kind of remind them that they're fish and try and make them think they're fish if you can. Maybe they'll make some mistakes or refrain from doing, well, I mean, maybe they'll tilt and they'll do something even more stupid. It could have the reverse effect that, hey, I'm going to play tight, I have been a fish, but that's pretty unlikely because no one ever thinks they're a fish. No one is ever going to say, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've kind of played, I feel like I've played a bit like a fish today, but I think one of the things that allows me to make money from poker is the realization that of my own ability, you know, and knowing when I'm not playing well and knowing what I need to work on in my own game and things like that. But most players, you know, it's a big barrier for most players and why they can't make it professionally because they think they're unlucky. You know, they think they're an awesome player. They never stop to think that, you know, okay, maybe I'm not playing the best poker I can. Maybe I could be doing something wrong. I'm going to take a really aggressive line here, I think. 4 to 15, 39, 39. I'm going to raise here, and I think if he might 3-bet here, 4-bet here, I think, a lot to like 80 something, and then we can shove it. We are still kind of the short stack, so I think it's as he's so loose, this guy's, but I think it's completely fine to be taking this kind of line, especially the history we have now. I mean, he could just shove like 4s here or do something spaz out. He could like 4-bet call off with some junky hands, which I mean isn't the best. Pity we busted that one top left. I tried to make it 40,000 to try and look a bit weaker. You probably noticed that. Seemed like he thought long and hard about raising it. Very, very tricky spot here. I think I'm actually going to raise to fold, I think. The thing is that we have a break-even jam, M7, and so I would probably be raise folding, and well, maybe I can't, I guess. There's already so many chips in the pot. Yeah, I think just jamming actually would have been better. I think that kind of sums up the day actually, not thinking clearly. I think just jamming was better. It's true, it's only a break-even jam, like, you know, normally. Normally it's only a break-even jam. I think I will raise this guy for value here, 13.26. Again, this is a little bit wide for value here. But I think with the history and the way it's been set up, I prefer to keep up the aggression. And she's probably going to re-raise quite a bit here, I think, actually. I just want to kind of keep picking on him, and wow, he just shoved. It's so sick. It's probably about the only bet we can't call. It's so sick. It's so sick that he just shoved. It's so gross. Oh my god, he's got like 8s or 7s for sure here. It is so sick. That is too sick. I thought he was going to make it like 78 and then we can shove, but now with the ICM, I don't think we can call, but I really want to. Oh man. 9 and 12. Oh, it's such a big jam, but we're only 4-handed. It's so sick. I wonder if we can ever have the best hand. I wonder if you can ever have like Ace-9 suited or Ace-8 or... It's so sick. It's too sick, this hand. I just can't call with the ICM, but I just want to call so bad. I just don't think he does this, does he, with a big hand? I just can't imagine him doing this with like Ace-Queen, Ace-King, Jacks. But I guess we have to fold. It's so sick. Now obviously I wish I just called pre. I think he's got like 7s or 8s. And he's just like, nah, I'm just don't believe you and I don't want to see a flop. I'm all in. Yeah, it's gross. It's so disgusting. It's so sick. I wish I just called. It's a ridiculous sized jam, regardless of what he's got. I mean, it did get us to fold, I guess, so it's not... it can't be too gross, I guess. But we were raising a pretty condensed range. What I mean by that is a depolarized range in terms of... Normally when someone 3-bets, they have, you know, Ace-Jack up or big pairs and so forth. I'm kind of extending my range for three betting for value down to sort of the ace 10 and maybe king jacks and stuff as well. I would three bet for value, but against that particular player, but yeah, I mean it's pretty hard for him to envisage that. So when he jams, it looks like most of the time, well, we're either snap calling or snap folding. As it was, we had that sort of right in the middle hand. We had a kind of right in the middle hand there. I have stopped registering, guys, just because my game is so bad at the moment, so sloppy at the moment. So these are the last 7 I've got now. And I must admit, after all said and done, it's been quite fun, this top middle table, and I think I'm going to just keep probably raising this button. This big blind seems to defend wide, but not necessarily 5, 9, 9, 2. Ace 4, 4, 5, spades. You can have like 7, 9, 6, 9, 4, 5, ace 3, king 2. I think I'm going to bet again here for value. Pretty sick, he could have spades here. I'm not so worried about him having spades. I mean, I am a little bit, but I'm also worried that it's harder to get called if we bet by like king 2, because he might think we have spades. I think I'm going to check here. And he does have the 2. I may have missed value there because this guy's so bad. But he might check flushes and the 5 on the river. I think he could check hands like that. So yeah, I mean, I think he's a player that could definitely do that. So I think it's getting it. Well, I don't even know if it's thin. I mean, maybe we miss value. And I don't think he's capable of turning his hand into a bluff, so we can probably bet fold if he raises, so it's probably bad just checking back. We can probably bet half pot, and he might, I think he's going to hero call. I think. I'm not sure about it, but... Well, I don't know if he would call. He's bad, but that would be pretty sick. But he called, yeah, maybe he would. He would. Yeah, he probably would actually. I don't mind. I don't mind making it like 70,000 here, but I think I won't just because of the way these guys are playing. I mean, I think we can get kind of a nice spot soon. I mean, we're not that shallow, I mean, we've been playing pretty our hands pretty fast, but in reality, we're still like M29. Of course, effective M for final table four-handed is a bit different, but Harrington M would be times 0.4. Roughly 40% of, let's say, M30. M12, is it 12? Yeah, 12. But I usually take that halfway in between Harrington M and the real M, 30 and 12. So I guess I would say about M20-ish. Which kind of feels about right for the situation. Maybe slightly less, I guess. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's all in the Poker Nerd videos. Course. Train up. Good spot here. King 10 off. Was a good spot. I just feel like this guy's not 3-betting too light for some reason. He's 3-bet 249. Yeah, I'm gonna fold. Our game is very kind of value orientated at the moment, isn't it? I mean, just because these guys, the way they play. I think it's more about getting value, and I mean, we're getting value from like bottom. We get value before the ace high, and now we're getting value from bottom pair before, and I think in that instance where players are sort of playing that bad, that loose, I mean, there's not too much of a need to go out of your way. Like the Queen 10 suited 3-bet before, I mean, I don't mind that play, but I mean, this guy's opened a lot. I might just actually raise smallish here. This guy just wrote that he's getting some hands, which just sounds like, I don't know, I just thought maybe because he said that. And he raises again, good on him. I thought he might actually fold now he said that, because he's like, you might not believe me. Yeah. Probably could have limped even there. I think the limping strategy is not too bad. Pretty good flop down there. Quite good. Yeah, the thing about the 3-5 suited is this sort of hand that if they just flat, you know, I just feel like we have such an edge post flop on these guys that anytime we get to see a flop, it's kind of pretty huge for us. I think King 9 is just a little bit too strong to be folding. This would be too sick if this guy squeezes. It would be too sick. Feels like it's every hand, even though it's not. This would be too sick he has, hasn't he? What's his squeeze percentage here? Kind of high. I think I will go for it. It only has to work close to 50% of the time. Oh, that's kind of close. Yeah, we'll jam that one. I will take that. Aye, ace, queen. 6 ball. 2. Yes. We got the chop. Bottom left, I think, just a little bit too strong to fold. And bottom right was kind of marginal. It was pretty close. M6, he needs a PN of 12 or whatever it was. Yeah, he needs a PN of 12. Obviously, sixes is a PN of 51, which is really high. I don't know if he's jamming correctly though. That's the thing, you know. He might be jamming. Yeah, I mean, he could be jamming. Excuse me, a little bit tighter, but I don't think so. I mean, he has a supernova, and his stats sort of indicate his stats are kind of pretty standard. Maybe a little bit tight from overall, but nothing crazy. Nothing out of the ordinary too much, so I think he can be jamming M6 from the cutoff pretty wide. Was it cutoff? Maybe it was hijack. Oh, hijack, yeah, we cut off and 6, 12, 8. Yeah, sorry, he needs 18, right? So there's M6 with 4 players behind, PN of 18. So, yeah, oh, well, I can probably fold there actually. This guy looks like he's been pretty tight. Yeah. I don't want to bring that in just yet. Final table bubble, bottom middle. Can only think what these guys might have, what's going through their minds. I was a bit distracted, but judging by the tanking on the river, I'm guessing this guy has a straight, maybe a small flush. I don't know how fishy he is. That's the question. How fishy is he? Could be tanking with 2 pair. He could be tanking with ace high. These guys, crazy. Final table bubble. Button player. Oh, I folded. I do imagine these guys will bust each other soon. I would think. The way they're playing. Seems like they will. We are 9 of 10, so we're kind of the shorty down there. There's a bit of a spew before with the King 9, but I just think that, you know, the table's been very aggressive, and I think that play works. It only had to work close to 55% of the time, and I think it does, and I think we have to take 7-5 now, don't we? Yeah, it's a pretty easy jam. It's a bit scary because this guy might be on the loose side, but at the end of the day, you can never really feel too bad about it because we're the short stack. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that he woke up with that sort of hand. We are the short. We were 9 of 10, so we were the one that needed to find a way to get chips, and unfortunately, we didn't. Found a way to bust. Wow. But the PN of 7-5 suited is 15. 10. 7 is 10. And so, yeah, I mean. I might make the 40 again. It's pretty sick. I think he's going to fold a lot here. Give him a little lol, even though there's nothing wrong with it. Just try and annoy him a bit. Certainly nothing wrong with his play. Um, try and frustrate him and just get him jamming wildly. Seems like bottom left he's controlling with he raised and I defended and he check flop. I guess he's controlling a lot with sort of an ace high, or could have a medium pair. Ace three gets there. If he jams, I'll would have isolated there. I think I have to. I'm sort of feeling it's going to be necessary to bet here. I think. Don't love it, but I just think giving up is a little bit too weak with the ace check. But that guy's only folding to not a lot of c bets and being sort of seems a bit fishy. So. But certainly you can have lots of king 10 suited and 10 jacks and stuff that I think are going to fold. And he's sort of talking to, like, just before he was saying about getting lots of hands and stuff, which just sort of sounds like the way a fish would talk. You know, just like a recreation. No, I mean, I don't know, fish, but just a recreational type of player, you know. Give him a lol. Probably should have said good game, actually. Now, since he busted, there's no point giving psychological warfare. Now he's busted. Although I don't mind kind of looking like a bit of a prick here, to be honest, against these guys. Get them a bit agitated. I think I'm going to bet here for a couple of reasons. The first one is that it's not a great board, but he defends so wide, I think we get some immediate folds quite a lot. But also if he does call and we hit, I mean, we can build the pot and win a huge pot with the depth that we had. It's kind of a very interesting dynamic now, isn't it? Now that we have position on this constant raiser and we can just call in spots like this and try and play good, make good decisions in position post flop. Given how sticky he is, I can't imagine I'm going to be doing too much floating with hands like this, even though we could have the best hand some of the time here. A lot of the time when you float, thinking you might have the best hand, it's also with the intention to try to win the pot on a later street. And given the fact that this guy's likely to call down with any pair, ace high and God knows what, I'll probably be playing fairly straightforward against him. But certainly having position on him the whole time is going to be a huge advantage. I think I'm just going to flat here. It's kind of either or. The thing is about 3-betting is I think it doesn't really fold to 3-bets in position. And so with that in mind, I think I prefer to see it flop with it, and we know we can get value from him a lot of the time post flop. So yeah, and the other thing is too is that I think our edge is monstrous, and if we don't win this, I'm going to be suicidal. just because of the emotional battle. So even though it's only for a small amount, 800 or whatever, it's been a bit of an emotional battle. So it's been a lot of fun though. And yeah, I mean, it's been fun playing with these guys, and I'm just joking around and stuff when I call them. Well, I haven't called anyone a fish, I don't think, but I mean, this is an ideal spot. Obviously, we can call here and completely miss the flop. I wonder if this guy here just barrels with everything on this board. I mean, I think he did check before. What was he checking? He was kind of checking a bit before, wasn't he? Yeah, that's right. We checked back with ace high. He was checking a couple of times. 3, 4, 7. Yeah, I think we're going to fold that. So I think there's a good chance that when he completely whiffs, he might just check. And I'm not sure about that, but I hope it's true though, because it just makes him even easier to play against if it's the case. Kind of a small squeeze. I think he does it pretty light. But I don't really want to get involved, even though we're in position. Well, it's kind of close because it's only 21,000. Yeah, I mean, this might come back to bite me, but I just don't really want to. 3, 3, 4. I think I'm going to jam here. Yeah, this guy's stealing a lot, and he might also know that this guy is very tight. Or he might have queens. I think just checking behind with the ace-5 is not too bad. And I think I'm going to take this one here. Am I going to take this? Wow, this guy hasn't 3-bet much. So he did just check and give up that time, which was interesting. 10, 3, 13. We're so short. I don't think it can ever be bad, but this guy has been active, but not with 3-bets. We don't have many hands, and our hand's pretty good, and we're short, so we're already in the money, and yeah, we're very short. So let's go for it. Well, he's got 5s. Okay. I think. Damn. Oh, we get there? We got there. I think just 3-betting very small here is probably good. So we don't really want to lose him with our hand quite this strong. I think betting is actually okay, because he hasn't shown a tendency to check raise yet. He's going to make a liar of me now. I've said that, hasn't he? Isn't he? He's going to check raise. This is so sick. The thing about betting is if we hit a spade or an ace or a king on the turn, I think I'm just going to fold now. We can actually, I think, get a lot of value by betting, and I think a lot of the times he's probably just going to fold on the flop. Yeah, I mean, we just got to try and hit a flop soon, really. That's the key. We just really need to try to hit a flop. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, what I was saying before, or about to say, is that this style I'm playing at the moment, where we're playing quite careful, not the style that I would normally play, I think is I think I will just call here. It's pretty close. And I'm probably going to call here, I guess. It's very sick that he hit the ace, but pretty sick that he valued it too. Why couldn't we just have a hand there? Yeah, we can't even do anything like jam because he's just going to probably snap. But we still have a good depth of stack, so could have raised flop, but it would have been worse because I don't think he's folding. I think just raising here small again is good, and just hoping one day we hit a flop. He's going to call with lots of hands we dominate. I think actually I'm going to bet for value here. I don't think he limps with many aces. And I think just check now and pray he hasn't got king 9 or something stupid. He's got the 3-4, which is kind of what it looked like he's going to have some sort of gotcha. But obviously when he limp calls, I mean, hands like Jack Queen and even King 9 is hands that he probably you'd expect with raise with, so it kind of actually looked like he had exactly the hand he had. Which is, believe it or not, what flashed through my mind as I was snapping. I think again, I think betting here is okay because his range is wide and we don't really want to give him free cards. Put a 7 down one time. 7 from heaven. Yeah. He's going to have a 9. Yeah, I thought he had a 9. We get at least 2 streets or 3 streets if we have an ace or a king there. That's the sick thing. Just can't connect. Cannot connect. It's just like... Just... I don't even know what to say about it. I think I'm going to wait. It's like if we don't hit a flop for the next hour, we're probably going to lose. Especially, wow. A little bit dangerous here. Well, not that dangerous. I mean, 10 Jack and 9-10 probably hands this guy will call with. He might sometimes jam worse. But he can have King 10. I think Ace 10 he would have gone with, so. Even pairs, 5s and 7s. I'm talking about the small blind there. Raise, re-raise. Third of our stack. Both players pretty loose, but I think we're going to have to fold this one. I think these are the sort of hands we just want to just raise with and try and see a flop. Wow, do we want to check or bet here? I think I might check here. Probably going to check call 1, I think. Am I? Yeah, I think I'm going to check call 1. See if he wants to barrel. Yeah, I think if he bets river we have to call because it would just look so bluffy. He had queen 10, so... I mean, when the river comes an ace, he probably would have jammed an ace or raised it pre-flop, right? So if he all of a sudden bets, I mean, it just seems like the ace is a card that's supposed to help our range. So why is he representing it? And it's probably because he's got nothing. I think I'm just going to flat here, out of position, and just keep it small. Either or, I mean, we can 3-bet small, we can flat. I'm really trying to go out of my way to keep the pot small here because these guys are just going to... Oh my god, I mean, look at that. Jack 9. Calls the jam. Like, it's just disgusting how bad these guys are. It's just really... it's really close. It's really just close to this guy being the worst player ever, but... Just going to go with the small 3-bet again, build the pot. Oh my god, this is sick. Oh my god, it's too sick. He's probably got a queen. Queen 8. So gross. 4-5. He would have called flop too. Calling or raising. I think just calling again. We just can't hit a flop. Oh my god, it's so sick. Any pair is like 3 streets of value. We just cannot hit a flop. It's so gross. I don't think I want to call for the gut shot here. It is so gross. It's so frustrating right now that we can't flop a pair. And not only do we not flop a pair, but the flops that we're getting are really bad. Really nasty types. All connected and just right on, or just look like they're all around his range. Like this, and he just shoves. This is sick. Oh man. So gross. Give us something. Give us something. This guy's gonna look like the biggest fish ever when, we flop the nuts and he calls us down with like bottom pair. It's gonna be hilarious, but I think I'm gonna fold that. But we may never actually hit a hand. We still have some time. Certainly not time to panic. But it is a problem with playing this sort of game, where we're playing a little bit carefully, is that we can get a bit blinded out, waiting for him to make a mistake. Our strategy is to try and find a hand against him. And that's the thing about poker. Sometimes you're just card dead. Sometimes you just don't get a hand. And that's what's happening right now. 6, 12. I'm going to raise a call up here. It's slightly thin. Ace 10 I think will be completely fine. Ace 9 suited against this guy is not that loose. It's pretty borderline. But yeah. It's just a hard hand to play, I think. Most of the time he's just going to fold like he did, obviously, but yeah, if he jams, it's tough. He's probably jamming all pairs, some Broadway combos and stuff, so we're probably getting the right price, but that's the end of that chapter. So we'll just restructure a bit here. Close that. Are we out up here? Wow, that's annoying. Think about this. Probably turn that off. What do we want to do here? Probably fold, I guess. Yeah, 21,000. It's pretty close, but our hand's pretty marginal. It's pretty speculative, and we're not getting a great price. And it's obviously getting kind of annoying, but what can you do? What can you do? Oops. We do still have the option when we get a little bit short of just jamming all in, but if it gets to that. But we still have a decent M. I think once the next level goes up, when is it? Yeah, 3 minutes. And then after that, probably not the next level, but the level after. If we haven't found a hand by then, we should probably be jamming. God, I hope it doesn't take that long. I think I'm just going to call here for the same reasons as before. I don't really want to bloat the pot against this guy. Obviously, we finally flop. This is the full house, I guess, to make up for all the other hands. Just thinking if we can raise. Probably better just to call, I think. He could put us on miss spades here and call with, I think, any pair, but I don't want to just shove. I think he might be able to get away, so he's probably on call any with any pair, so maybe it's a... No, he just gave up, yeah. So I think checking was the right thing to do there. Because we gave him a little bit of rope and he did take it, so But he figured out what was going on. He's probably betting with like 10 high or something. I hope he didn't have a flush draw and then give up river, because we could have got value from that hand, and that's one of the risks of checking when there's a lot of hands. I mean, even if he has bottom pair of 6, or say he has pocket 8s, 9s, 10s there, I mean, we can get 3 streets. Well, I mean, not 3 streets, but we can get definitely flop and turn. If we raise flop, he's going to call, and then bet turn, he's probably still calling. By river, he might. Well, no, what am I talking about? He's not folding if he's got 10s. He's never folding 2 pair with aces and 10s. So, I think he just had completely nothing. Uh, 19, 5, 24. It's kind of close. A little bit marginal here, given that he never ever folds. He did snap check, which is a good sign. Why can't we just have an ace one time? Why can't we have ace 9? Why can't we have ace 9? Jack set, jack. Oh my god, he's got king high. This is just so gross. He's got king high. Interesting that he's just limped here. Could be a limp raise, which I guess is okay because we've got ace jack. There's some hands that he does limp with, I think. I just think if there's any merit to betting here. I think it might actually be better to check here. Just don't, I mean, if we bet and get it in, it's not bad, but if we bet any flats, yeah, I think we can bet small, I guess. I mean, we're not folding, obviously, but I mean, we probably have the best hand already, and we have a ton of outs if we don't, kind of thing. So if I check and we hit turn, I mean, he might bluff at us on hearts and stuff like that, or he might have a heart himself and call turn when we value, when we have the nuts and he's drawing dead, sort of thing. So it's certainly that sort of thing. It's a consideration when we're thinking about how to get the best, the most value, max value. I think checking's not too bad. And that board wasn't too bad for his limping range as well, which was a bit of a worry. I think he limps with like, I think he's going to limp with a lot of like sort of 6, 7, 7, 8, 6, 8, 9, 6, 9, 5 suited, 9 king. Well, maybe not those high cards, but oh my god. We may never flop. We may never flop a pair. There's a chance of like 30%, right? I gotta check this because I thought it was 30% chance, but right now I'm feeling like it's like 2 to 5% chance of actually flopping a pair against this guy. I think the chance of flopping a pair is it's very, very low. Well, at least we did flop a flush draw last hand, so I mean, they can't really be complaining. We did flop a draw, at least. $24. How do we want to play this? He has 3x now, which is kind of large. Thing about raising, I might just shove here. The thing about if we raise to, wow. If we raise, that's pretty sick. Guys, I didn't really want to get in a flip with that guy. He did 3x and he had a big hand, so that's kind of interesting. The thing about if I raised if I raised there, I mean, he's probably never folding. And 8s is just that hand where there's always going to be overs. And so it's never going to be easy, post. And as it was, if we got that board, we'd probably be just, checking and trying to hang on for dear life. And again, we flop absolutely nothing. And just folding. Why couldn't we flop something nice there? It's just a kind of, just a patience game, I think. Just a matter of just kind of waiting for not the nuts, but a pair. Again, I think just calling here is okay. I don't really want to bloat the pot against him. Probably got nothing a lot here. It's a little bit risky. He's got 2, what was it, 4, 5. I'll be specifically 4, 5. That's pretty unlucky. He just gave up. That's so sick. We flop top pair and he just snap folds. I think he can see our cards. And now he's folding big blinds when we have a suited ace. It's out of control. Can't quite fold there. I think I will call here. Hopefully this guy doesn't bet too big. That's probably about the right size. Wow, especially now it's this three-way. Yeah. Damn. Damn. 5, 6, 7, 8. If it had been a 4, we would have been probably tripling up. This is going to be a funny hand here. This is Dumb and Dumber. Oh my god. This is just sick. This is just too sick. This is just crazy. Wow, that is just so gross. He just decided, I'm bluffing this hand. And I don't care what you've got or what the action is. This is the hand I'm going to bluff and pretend I have a flush. He's certainly ready to give. He's certainly in the giving mood. I think we can probably just fire smallly here because he has shown a tendency now to he's going to make a liar of me. I think I'm going to go with the one and done policy because I don't think we can fold him. I mean, if he's got king 3, I don't think he's folding. So I'm going to just try and hit a jack, and if we hit a jack, we can probably get some value. Why can't we have jack 9? Probably get his stack. Tank shove river, he snap calls with like 10 king. Interesting to think what he might have there. I guess sometimes he can actually have maybe 4-5 or something ridiculous, but pretty hard to call with jack high. So on it goes, and still we wait. And that's pretty tight. I mean, queen 7 button, pretty tight fold, but I'm just looking for a fairly obvious, fairly clear situations, and letting these guys, attack each other in the meantime, I guess. I mean, king 6 there probably would have been 3 streets of value against him. But I want to, if I can play this guy in position, that's, hard to lose, really. Yeah, I guess we're folding there just. Good pot odds, but such a dominated hand. And it's break time. And yeah, I needed this break. Getting worn down. 7 AM here, but it's this emotional battle against these big fish. Well, I mean, this guy doesn't seem too bad, but yeah. So a bit of fun, guys, and going to take a break and be right back.